Today I'm going to answer another subscriber question about how to make your marketing stand out. How to make your marketing so it actually connects with prospects, many of whom have already been ignoring competitors or other people offering similar products, services, whatever. Let's dive in. So the question that I got is, I want to craft a connecting message that just stands out, can explain well the value I can provide to my prospects without them ending up comparing my service to others, especially those who've reached out to them in the past and they have rejected. I want to really get inside their heads and make them move forward to my funnel, knowing that the value I give is going to benefit them in ways they can only imagine. From B. Let me start by highlighting one really important segment of that. They said, without them ending up comparing my service to others. And what I'll say here is that comparison is good. Comparison actually helps your marketing. Comparison makes good buyers decide on you, right? Equating you, feeling like you're the same as everybody else, that's not good, right? Equating you with the rejected marketers who've reached out to them in the past is not good. If you look like everybody else, if you feel like everybody else, if they can't tell the difference between your offer and 15 other people who've approached them this week, then that's not good. But comparison that makes you look the best, comparison that makes them feel like, all right, this person is actually going to help me when nobody else has, that's actually a good thing, because your best prospects, the people who are buyers, are constantly comparing. They're actively comparing options. They want to get a result, and they don't believe that all the people who've come to them promising the result in the past have been able to fulfill on their promises, but they're still comparing. They're still looking for somebody. So you should invite comparison, because comparison helps them set the buying criteria. It helps them decide, yes, I should buy this person's product, or I should hire this person, right? Because I see clearly how they are better than the alternatives. And so from this perspective, it's important to note that we're not afraid of comparison. We don't want to look like everybody else who's already been rejected, but we're not afraid of comparison. Now, there are lots of ways to stand out, right? But what works here? One way that people think about making their marketing stand out is with hooks. And that's like the first impression that people have of you. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that. I think Bill Glazer has a book, Outrageous Advertising, that's outrageously successful. And it's largely about over-the-top hooks that get people's attention. And that can be effective as long as it's consistent with the selling message that you are going to put out. And that's one way to get early attention and to stand out early, right? But you have to be careful when you're doing that it doesn't disrupt or distract from your core message, because, sheerly being gimmicky for gimmick's sake, that's not necessarily great for you. But if you are finding ways to hook people's attention that is relevant, or that brings in the right people, and they feel like your message to them, your core message, is relevant after that hook, well, that's great. So you want to stand out. And in that regard, especially if you are in a personality-driven market, having a compelling personality, an interesting personality, being different, sometimes maybe being over the top if that matches with who you are, if that gets attention for you, great. Bill Glazer on the cover of Outrageous Advertising That's Outrageously Successful, he's in a straitjacket. And it's actually an image from some advertising that he had used before, and it was effective, to get attention. And he was conveying that into a core message of, people think I'm crazy to have such incredible prices on my menswear, to sell these suits for prices that I have listed here, etc. Right? But it was very relevant to the selling message. He found ways to take those hooks and turn them into something that was relevant to the selling message, as opposed to just saying, Crazy Roy, the crazy copywriter, he's going to write crazy copy for you that's going to get crazy results. I don't know, it doesn't resonate in quite the same way, right? So you have to be a little bit careful. You have to pay attention to, is this going to further my selling message? Is this going to attract the attention of the right prospects and get them engaged in such a way that they're going to be open to my core selling message. Now, what is your core selling message? Most of it's going to be based around your unique selling proposition. For this, I always think back to the Dan Kennedy question, which is, why should I, your perfect prospect, choose to do business with you over every other option available to me, including going with a competitor, solving the problem myself, or doing nothing about it for now, right? And my wording may not be exact, but when I connect with other marketers who've studied Dan Kennedy and I mentioned the Dan Kennedy unique selling proposition question, we all know, right? We all know the core message here. Why should I, your perfect prospect, choose to do business with you over every other option available to me, including I'm comparing you to a competitor, right? Solving the problem myself, I'm comparing you to that, or doing nothing about it, comparing you to letting this problem fester or letting this problem go unsolved for now. So the answer to that question often comes from the answer to these further questions that I've included here. So what's your unique understanding of the problem? How do you understand my problem better than me, such that I feel compelled to listen to you about what the solution is going to be? What's your unique understanding of the solution? It's probably tied to the unique understanding of the problem, like it's mechanism of the problem, mechanism of the solution. That's another way that these are referred to. But what's your unique understanding of the solution, and how there do you take that understanding and translate it into a selling message that makes me believe that your solution is going to be better than the alternatives? Why must they or I solve the problem now? Why can't they solve it themselves? How is your offer superior to other options? All of this is just going to feed into this answer to this question: why should I, your perfect prospect, choose to do business with you over every other option available to me, right? So why do I need to solve the problem now? Why can't I just put it off? Why can't I solve it myself? Why is your understanding of the problem or solution so critical to actually getting it solved? Here's the comparison bit. How's your offer superior to other options, right? And again, this is going to come out of your understanding of the problem that they're facing, the challenge, the desire that they're trying to fulfill, right? Or your unique understanding of the solution, how to actually go about solving the problem or fulfilling the desire. And pretty much no matter what, if you attract my attention, like if I have this problem that I want to have solved, right, and you attract my attention around solving the problem, you attract my attention around what the solution is, right? That's what's going to make your marketing stand out versus somebody who just makes empty promises and claims and all that stuff that is, maybe interesting on some level, but feels the same as everybody else. Now, I have this formula called PAISA, and we're going to walk through this, and it's completely relevant to everything we've talked about here. We're going to walk through this around using PAISA to create marketing that connects, that stands out because it gets the reaction that's going to lead to the sale. Now, the ideal reaction when your prospect first encounters your marketing message is, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I'm looking for. This is exactly like, this person understands me. They understand what's going on. They understand what I want, right? This is exactly what I'm looking for. And the way that the PAISA formula addresses this is it actually speaks to the problem or challenge or unfulfilled desire that they want, and it starts from that place, right? But then it actually resonates with their complete experience of trying to solve this problem in the past. And so you start with, hey, I know what problem or challenge you're facing. I know what desire you don't have fulfilled yet. I understand it, right? I understand the problem part of it, right? So you speak to the problem. You can speak to the problem with stories. You can speak to the problem directly. You can speak to, hey, if you've been looking to do this thing, right, this is going to be a really important message for you. You're speaking to the problem. And then you have to address the agitation of leaving that problem unsolved, right? What emotional agitation do they have around the continued experience of the symptoms of that problem? So, what does it look like to have that problem unsolved? What's the continued struggle that they're going to face as long as they don't get their desire fulfilled, right? And again, stories like this entire thing could be presented in the form of a story, a case study. It could be presented in the form of your personal story, a customer story, right? But it's about, okay, here's what the problem is. I recognize this, it matches. Here's the agitation of having it unsolved, right? And this could be told in 5 sentences, maybe 3 or 4 sentences, potentially, or it could be told in 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 word video sales letter, right? This is not about length. It's about the underlying structure that makes people feel like you are speaking to them. So you have this problem, you have this challenge, you have this desire that's not fulfilled. I recognize like it's painful. Here's the agitation. Like I know the pain of having that desire unfulfilled or having that problem that you're unable to solve. And then you invalidate other options. And here's where comparison is good, but equation is not. You say, listen, I tried to solve it too, or I understand like the path of trying to solve it can lead you down all these paths that lead to invalid solutions. You may have bought other products and services in the past that didn't get you the results you want, right? That's invalidation. And then you explain to them why it didn't get them the result that they want, right? And that's your understanding of the solution, because an ideal solution needs to do A, B, and C, right? And most people are great at B and C, but ours is the first and only one that does A, right? And that's your solution, and that is your buying criteria that leads to the comparison between you and other options, creating the desire in your prospect's mind to buy your product or service, right? And then if you want the solution to this, here's the action you need to take. And you ask them for action. It's a call to action, right? So, oh man, I understand like this problem is can be really frustrating. It's especially when you let it go unsolved for a while, like you start to realize like, oh, my life is slipping backwards, whatever, the emotional agitation. But the thing is, it's not easy to solve because you could try all these different options and still not get the results you want. I understand because I've been there, done that, right? The thing is, no other solution out there addresses A, B, and C. They just address B and C really well, but we created a solution that addresses A as well. And if you want it, go here, do this thing, give me your money, right? Problem, agitate, invalidate, solution, action. And when you do this right, when it feels incredibly relevant to the person in question, the prospect, the person who's engaging with your messaging, it will stand out because it feels personally relevant to them. Just caught a typo. That's exactly what I'm looking for. They're going to say, that's exactly what I'm looking for. This person gets me, they understand me. This person is speaking to me, right? It feels personally relevant, even if it's not personalized. It's exciting, it's interesting because it connects with them about what they want, and it offers them a path towards an effective solution when maybe they have tried to find a solution in the past and not had success with it. So my call to action for you at the end of this episode is, how can you use this? What about this if you're trying to make your marketing stand out, if you're trying to connect with your audience, if you're trying to get people to choose you in a field full of competitors? How can you use this to make your best prospects feel connected to you and to engage with your marketing messages? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content like this delivered to you. You can subscribe here. You can also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. That link is in the description. If you do want to become a really good copywriter, and this applies whether you're writing copy for your own business or you're writing copy for clients, I do have a program called High Velocity Copywriting. It's pretty much my flagship program for copywriting. It's part of my BTMS Insiders training library where you pay one low monthly fee. You get instant streaming access to the entire catalog. So that's kind of like Netflix or other streaming platforms. But this is for copywriting, marketing, and entrepreneurship training. Check out the link in the description to High Velocity Copywriting and know that you get that when you sign up for BTMS Insiders. And if you have a question that you'd like to have me answer in an upcoming episode, I will include a link to ask me your question as well. With that, I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and I'm here every day in every episode trying to help you increase your copywriting, marketing, and entrepreneurial success. And I will catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.